basically concentrating on the beams for B-deck's ceiling. Now, we're just going to install a whole bunch of LED lights, bend some photo etch pieces, actually the beams, and get them all set in place, as well as painting the areas that need to be painted. So let's go ahead and get started with that. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and position it in place. It fits perfectly right there. At this point, I came and I pushed this together. Go ahead and you mark it with a little fine marker right here. So you can have a guide. Basically, just go ahead and lift it up. Align it right back to that mark. And start marking your areas right here. So you know a photo etch piece is going to go here. I marked it already, D21. And over here will be D19. As you can see, I already finished them all up. Go ahead and remove Trumpeter's LED guide there so the photo etch piece could fall flat. Once we get them all laid down, all we're going to do is mark them so we can start setting up a grid for all the lighting that we're going to put on this area right here. So we're going to go ahead and remove this. Just run it right across with a few tries and you'll eventually get it. And once you get it done, just go ahead and run your razor right over it like this. Everywhere you see these little indentions, these little marks here, you want to go ahead and fill them with putty. Once you get done with all this, you can go ahead and sand it down. So I'll go ahead and do the rest off camera. I went on ahead and filled all the indented areas with putty, sanded them down. Also, I cut all the photo etch pieces from Woody's sheet D, laid them down and positioned them in place. The next thing we need to do is go ahead and mask these guys so I can mark them for the lights that we will use. Now we're done with the lighting for the ceiling of C-Deck. As you can see, we went ahead and used these 0402 LEDs. They're soft white. I went on ahead and just went through the Woody's procedure. The most important thing is that the photo etch doesn't make contact with the LED. I went on ahead and used the copper tape method to organize these wires a little better. We've set the standard LEDs down here, which I believe are 8.2 volts. The smaller LEDs are 2.5 volts. As you can see, we'll go ahead and just light up the small LEDs. That's what they look like. But at any rate, it's all done. It's ready to move to the next stage. And the next stage is we will be taking these PE parts here, running slight sandpaper so we can get a rough edge on the back side of it. And then we're going to have to bend every single one of these beams. And then we can go ahead and glue them and lay them down in there. I'll go ahead and show you how that's done. And we'll keep moving on. The first thing you want to do is go ahead and flip this on its back side. And rub a sandpaper through it just to get rough edges. And you don't really want to damage the piece, so don't rub too hard. So the next thing you want to do is you want to get a straight edge. Start lifting just these lines in a 90-degree angle. Now you can use a straight edge, pick it up with this guy here and bend it 90 degree. Unfortunately, I'm not going to use that method. I'm going to go ahead and put it on a bending tool. So go ahead and just kind of line it up in place. Use a straight edge to kind of lift this little corner up. And get it 90. The bending tool, pretty much, you can get a great 90-degree angle if you just go straight. Now go ahead and just move to the next. And you continue doing this throughout the whole PE part. There you have it. Easy peasy. They're all bent nice and neat. And we'll go ahead and finish the rest off camera. It looks great. What we have left is to get these three pieces together. And we'll just go ahead and mix some epoxy Gorilla Glue. A very small amount. Go ahead and grab your epoxy. And I would just apply it to the center beam only, very lightly. Line it up the best you can. Kind of like drop it in place. Just tap it. There you go. Let this set before you throw the other piece on there. Now that this is set, let's go ahead and the same thing with the other piece. Not much glue, very little. And then we'll drop it right on there. And there it goes. And just tap it down with your finger very lightly. Not, you know, the glue kind of sticks it on. You don't want to try to squeeze the glue out, but that's it. Let this set for a day. Okay, now we're back and we're ready to start adding these pieces. We'll just go ahead and do one. And I've already pre-mixed some epoxy here. With this epoxy, you want to just add a little bit of epoxy, not a whole bunch. Definitely don't fill your little light ports there. Now we'll go ahead and position it in place. I'm going to turn these lights on so we can have a guide. Just hold it down for about a good 10 seconds. And there you have it. At this point, we're done installing all these beams. It looks like the epoxy worked very, very well. There are some loose beams, but you want to make sure you secure these beams before you remove these side pieces. Once you remove these side pieces and these beams are not secure, you may lose the spacing between the beams. Then we'll go ahead and paint these guys. So we are finally done with getting all the beams on the ceiling of B deck. This is ready to be painted. As you can see, the bulkhead that we'll be using. The only extra thing that we did was add a couple of extra lights here, and that will provide lighting for this bulkhead. So this is ready to be painted. So the painting is done. My goal was to set up a time-lapse video of the painting, but I forgot to hit the record button. It's okay, this is just as good. I painted the areas of the photo etch as well as the edges right here in the front because they will be exposed. So what's left is the furniture here in the promenade deck. I have that coming in from Woody's. I picked up these benches from Tom's Model Works. They're gonna go all over here and it is just gonna go all over the place. These benches are really cool. The reason why I chose these benches because Shapewear has a nice bending tool for these guys, and that'll save me a lot of time. At any rate, that's where we're at. We also will be installing this China 3D bulkhead. If you like this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.